Beats here from Pop Eternity, speaking to Mars about Descendants, The Rise of Red on Disney Plus and recently premiered on Disney Channel. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being here.
Oh my God, thanks so much for having me.
I mean, we were talking before we started. I mean, there's so much going on right now. Disney made that huge announcement about the Villains Park. I mean, there's a lot happening. It's Team Maleficent, right? Let's be honest.
They're like Team Maleficent, Maleficent Park. Come on.
I kind of want to know, like, it's been a long time, this whole process of like you filming it and the movie being out. What was the audition process like? Did you audition for Maleficent?
Yeah, so I got a breakdown from my team, and basically it was like auditioning for teen Maleficent or younger version of Maleficent, and I had to do a tape and I recorded it with my mom, which was just the craziest thing. Auditioning with parents is so funny. And then I had to send it a dance and a singing video as well, and then ended up doing a Zoom callback and booked the role.
Do you ever think about the idea or the possibility of working on something where you are acting, singing, and dancing? Or is that kind of just something that happens? Like, do you ever think about that early on? Like, you want to do a project that involves everything, or did it kind of just happen?
It kind of honestly just happened, but like growing up, I'm just a huge musical theater nerd. So like doing something like this has always been a dream of mine. I just didn't really think it would like happen like this young.
Yeah, I know. But it's musical theater. It's so funny because I never acted, but I was like stagehand and stage crew and follow spotlight operator for my productions.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how exciting it is the day of a performance? Like, you wake up in the morning and you're like, we're going to perform in front of them. The whole day is like a rush, right? Before you even, yeah.
Oh, like a huge rush, a huge like blur. And then like the anticipation getting up to it is just the craziest thing. And it kind of feels that way, like on set doing a musical movie. It's like the same anticipation, like amping yourself up, getting ready. And then like when you're in it, which is so sick.
So much happens before you go to camera on something like this. I mean, the scale is massive. We know all these Disney characters. We know these Disney villains. From a storyteller acting perspective, you can look at it as like two journeys, right? Before filming a Descendants film and then after filming a Descendants film? Or does it feel like one big journey with multiple steps? I'm curious about that.
Oh, that's a good question. Ooh, I'm honestly not sure because it feels like one big thing.
Feels like,
but then it's like at the same time, it's like no, filming the movie and then like after the movie releases is two totally different things. But like luckily the cast has just been super close, so we like all are in our group chat like talking all the time. So that still kind of feels like one storyline throughout it.
Yeah, and you know, there was a code name for when you all auditioned for this, right? Pocket Watch, I believe, right?
Pocket Watch. Still have some merch. Still have some Pocket Watch merch.
Yeah, like, you know, it's crazy because can you take me through getting scripts for the first, like getting the script for the first time, and like what was that like, kind of reading everything and be like, okay, this is happening, and then actually seeing it come to life on screen? Like, I'm curious about that script to screen journey, especially with something with the scale of a Descendants film, so to speak.
Oh, it was insane. I remember getting the script in like my email and like signing like so many NDAs and everything. And we did this like one big like Zoom read through before we all went to set or like down to Covington where we shot. And like everyone was on there and it was the most exciting thing. And then when you're on set, like there's so many different rewrites and everything. So you're always kind of constantly surprised, but the story still stays the same. It's just the way that like lines are delivered are like completely different. And so like when you see the final product, it's just insane. Like just having like a paper copy all the way up to like the big screen is just so
the elements, like the Disney worlds are very colorful, right? There's a lot of colors. And, you know, that's something that kind of stood out for me when I was watching Rise of Red. Was that something that stood out with you, seeing all the colors and the costumes specifically? Is that something that comes to mind, like the colors?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The color wave, the color theory, all like behind it. Each character has like a specific color of their own. Like Maleficent, definitely dark purple and black, a little bit of green here and there. Like when you just stick to the colors, like it's so fun, especially like even on the red carpet, because you could play into like the color of your character and everything. Oh, so sick.
We cannot escape the TikTok edits of the Rise of the Red.
No, we cannot.
The villains. We cannot. There's so many Maleficent Hades. Like, it's crazy. They're not going away.
No, they will never go away. It's the craziest thing. I honestly, like, when I see them, I like look at everything and I'm like, this is the most insane thing to be like a part of a fandom that is just so wide and grandiose. Like, I didn't really necessarily know that this is what it was going to be like. And it's just like the funniest thing. I love it so much.
This is the same question I asked Anthony Pyatt, who plays Hades, because it's kind of that you're in the similar situation from the character perspective. You're playing a character we know, we've seen before. We've never seen this character like this. Like, we've never seen like Teen Maleficent, right? So I'm just wondering, like, what was that like for you? Did you find that was kind of like a challenge? Like, was it exciting to think about it? Like playing a character people know, but we've never seen that like a character like this character like that before. Like, what was that like for you?
Yeah, no, it was really amazing because like obviously I'm playing a younger version of Kristen Chenoweth, so I had a lot to work off of and like play off of like with like her amazing rendition of Maleficent, and I had to bring a lot of her into my character, but then also I could like make a teen Maleficent way more angsty, more spunky, more a little bit more my own, but like I think honestly, once you get into the costume and the wig, the character just kind of like comes into your body and you really don't have to do much. You just have to like know exactly who you are. And it was just the coolest thing. Like getting into the wig every day. Oh my God.
It's I can't even imagine like what was that first day on set like? Or maybe what was that first like what was the first academy day on set like at the school? When they go back in time, like what was that like? Take me back to that day specifically from what you remember, because it's probably like years ago.
Oh, I know, but I really like remember this vividly, like it was yesterday. Basically, like my hair and makeup always took so long, obviously, because it's just an extreme piece of artwork. So I immediately got from hair and makeup into like my trailer to change, and then like ran to set, did like final touch-ups, and immediately did the introduction to the villains. So it was like boom, 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 boom. And it was the most exhilarating thing. And honestly, like I just remember being so amped up the whole time. And then like we shot for an hour or so, and then it was done. And I was like, oh, that was it. Oh, that was it. We're done. I could breathe. But like, oh my God, it was the most exhilarating thing. Like that's the only way I know how to describe the whole experience in itself.
The fandom around villains is out of control. I mean, like the D23 announcement we talked about before we started this interview. I mean, what is that like? Just be like soaking all of that in. Basically, like just the time is amazing too. Like you just played this character, right? And those announcements come out.
I'm like, oh, a villain's land? Are you kidding me? So you're gonna see like Maleficent's castle and everything. Oh my God, just being a part of like being a villain is something insane. And like no one really ever gets to say that. So I'm like so honored to like be able to be a part of this. And then on top of that, it's like getting to play the most iconic villain ever with the Disney fandom is just, it's insane. And I'm so excited for this villains world. Like this villains land is going to be insane.
I was overwhelmed by all those announcements, to be honest with you. No, because you know how it is, right? There's all the Disney, and like the Pixar and the Marvel announcements, all the new projects, but like all the Disney park announcements. I was like, what is happening right now?
I know, like I used to go to Disney as like a little kid, and I like performed in Candlelight and stuff where you're like singing in the choir and everything. So like just being able to like think of like all these little kids who like also like love the villains, just being able to experience that on a grandiose level is just going to be the most insane thing. Crazy. And the Monsters Inc. ride? Are you kidding?
Like yes, like the doors. Like oh my God, like it's gonna be crazy.
It's just gonna be like adults shoving kids out of the way, being like, I need to get in.
Yeah,
put me in first.
Oh, it's so crazy. I'm a big theme park guy. Like I love theme parks. So it's just my God. Learning experiences, right? Whether you've been on set one time or thousands of times, you're always going to learn something new, right? So what were some learning experiences for you as like an actor, storyteller point of view that you could bring to future projects on Descendants: Rise of the Red?
That's a really good question. I feel like I already knew this, but especially on such a big set, like every single person matters, whether you're like the highest person on the call sheet or a PA, every single person plays such a pivotal role. And it's so important to like take care and nurture every single person on set because every single person matters and their job is equally as important as yours. So it's just something that like everyone should pay attention to.
100%. Kind of goes back to one of my previous questions in this interview, but you know, I feel like anyone that works on a Descendants film, whether it's the first film or, you know, Rise of the Red, is in a really unique situation because I do find that interesting that there's like familiar territory and unfamiliar territory at the same time. Like we've seen these characters, some characters, you know, we've seen before, but we like I said, Teen Maleficent and everything. Then there's, you know, Peder Lindell plays Morgie, like there's a new character, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know what's going on and you don't know what's going on. Do you think about that at all? Being part of a Descendants film? Because I find that really unique and interesting.
I feel like when you're on a Descendants film, you're like, anything can happen.
Yes.
And I think especially in this world, it's like you have so much freedom to play and create your own renditions of all these iconic characters because you're seeing them in such a new light that like really anything can happen. And that's why it's like, I don't really think there's like any like rights or wrongs and like how to like play a character or like approach the work. Like everything is new and exciting.
And, you know, final question. I mean, the global reception of these films every time they come out are just incredible. Like, there are fans of these films all around the world, and it's just amazing to see. What's that been like experiencing the global fandom of Descendants these last couple of weeks for you specifically?
Like, such a question.
Think about it a little bit because going into it and then like what you're gonna do, and you go to the premiere, you know the scale is big, right?
I just didn't know that like people would be so supportive, and like people are like just so excited to see whatever you do, and like regardless of like how large your role was, everyone is like, oh my God, thank you so much for being a part of this project, and like I'm so excited for you. You've done such an amazing job, and it's just even like scrolling on TikTok and being like the gelatin moment that's happening is my favorite thing.
That comes up on my feed all the time.
And I'm like, I just like still find myself like singing all the songs because they just keep popping up on your feed and everything. Mm-hmm. So like, I don't even know if I'm answering your question, but basically it's been so gratifying.
Yeah, 100%. No, absolutely. Yeah, and the film, the film's available on Disney Plus, but the film also recently premiered on Disney Channel, which is exciting.
Like a dream for anyone. What?
So crazy. Mars, so great chatting with you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
Your Instagram account, is it just your name, or is it like where can people follow you on Instagram?
Okay, yeah. My Instagram account is Mars Teeny.
Yeah, because I don't know you were able to get Mars.
No, I was not able to get Mars. I wanted so many different things, like Mars, not like the planet, Mars, teeny with one eye, life
not
on
planet Mars, Mars, not planet. Yeah, absolutely.
Everything was taken. And so basically it's Mars Teeny with 3 eyes because that's fun and flirty, like Martini, but Mars Teeny with 3 eyes at the end.
There's probably some BTS cool stuff over there, and
all the fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this has been Pop Turnitive. YouTube.com/PopTurnitive. Previous episodes. Until next time, it's Mars and PD Beats sliding off.
Thank you for tuning in to Pop Turnitive. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Pop Turnitive on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.